I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I was 12 years old, and I decided that I was going to open a checking account. Now, I cleaned houses in the morning and banks in the evening, so I went to the bank that I cleaned to open a checking account. I knew I could. I read the rules. I knew what I had to do. So I waited in line, and they called up the person who was going to wait on me to help me open my account. And the woman was like, "Well, you're too young. How old are you?" And I said, 12. She said, "You have to be 21." I said, "No, ma'am, you don't. You have to be blah, 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 blah." And I knew because I had read the trash. And so she said, "Well, how much money do you have?" And I said, "I have $20." And I was so proud I had saved my little $20. And she was like, "Well, you need to have $50." And I said, "No, ma'am, you have to have 10." And blah, 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 because I had read the trash. And so she's like, and she's just really having a time with me. And in my mind, I'm kind of laughing because I had read her trash too. And you shouldn't write letters to your boyfriend at work and leave it in the trash, especially when you're married. Anyway, oh, being the little spook that sat by the door is always fascinating. So she tells me she's busy and I need to go and come back in an hour. So I do. And I come back and she's just like done with me. She's like, "Give me the $20." And I said, "No, ma'am, I don't have $20." She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I bought an ice cream cone. I have $19.75. She was like, the manager came out, and the manager told me that he was very proud of me for being so mature with my money, and he invited me to open a savings account, which I did. I put part of my money in the savings account. I was just so proud. And then I told him I cleaned the bank there. And I looked at her and was kind of like, "I've seen your trash." Years later, I had a similar situation, but quite different. I had sold a piece of property and was going to open an account closer to me so that my family would have access and they wouldn't have to go into town or whatever. And so I take the cashier's check over to this bank, and I go up to the officer who's going to open an account for me. And she immediately starts telling me what my credit score needs to be and that they need to do a credit check and a blah, 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 blah to open an account. And I'm like, "Ma'am, would you like to start with hello and introducing yourself to me before you start telling me about a credit check?" So she was like, "Well," and I just picked up my little cashier's check. It wasn't a small amount of money. And I was on my way out. And one of the tellers stopped me and said, "What just happened?" And I told her what happened. And she said, "Well, that woman tried to borrow money from me last week. She don't have no nerve trying to judge somebody." And I was like, "Well, y'all work it out. I don't have to put any money in here because I don't clean this bank." Anyway, I went on and handled it somewhere else. Um, it's an interesting thing to see these experiences from the long view, right? In one situation, I stayed there because it was the bank that I cleaned, and I was kind of proud of the fact that I was able to open an account in the same place that I cleaned at night. And even though, somebody was trying to keep me from doing it, I fought to do it. And now, if people try to keep me from doing something, I'm like, "You go ahead with your bad self," because I've seen the future. And we need the business and the support and the love of everybody. And nobody gets to judge anybody else because somebody is going to tell your business. And more than likely, it's in your trash. I love you.